yet, what's going on with President Bush's foreign policy is he's basically going around the world and strong-arming other countries to try to back us in this idea of creating an imbalance in the strategic nuclear weapons field. And what this will do, if he's successful, is it will create a capability for the United States to create a first strike on another country and absorb whatever comes our way from that country, whatever's left from that country to send to us, and to presumably make it okay for us to obliterate another country and not suffer any damage of our own. That's assuming that it works at all, which is extremely doubtful. But the fact that the United States is willing to put something like this up, gamble with your life and my life, and create a situation where we might be able to use that ultimate club against somebody else in the world that we didn't like is abominable to me. It's the ultimate evil. Now, if George Bush wants to know why terrorists hate America so much, he should look at himself in the mirror. Because the United States has been the ultimate terrorist in the world for at least the last 50 years, and maybe beyond that. We are the #1 hated person because we go around killing people just like we killed hundreds of people in an Afghan village last couple of days. We are terrorists. The fact that we own 30,000 or more nuclear weapons, we own enough nuclear weapons to destroy all life on this planet. It's just totally insane what we've done. I belong to a group called Abolition 2000, which is a group of concerned citizens throughout the world who would like to see nuclear weapons abolished. And I say that maybe nuclear weapons can't be abolished, but by God, they can certainly be reduced to a reasonable number, like a couple of hundred per country or less. And certainly that would be way more than enough that we could defend ourselves against anything that came our way. But it wouldn't give us enough that we could be aggressive towards other people and use it. What I see happening with nuclear weapons, it's like when you say that. Let's say you're a bank robber and you go into a bank and you wave a gun around and you order people to do things. Then what you're doing is you don't have to kill somebody with that gun in order to get your way. And that's exactly the way nuclear weapons work. When the United States goes into a negotiation, they know that the ultimate decision comes from somebody that has their hand on the button. And if we have our hand on the button, then anybody else who tries to go against us is ultimately going to be steamrollers, basically. That's what we're doing. When George Bush goes and talks to a foreign country, he's giving them a monologue, basically. He's not listening. There's no dialogue going on. He's telling them what we want. He's strong-arming them and charming them to try to get them to back us in what we're doing. But there's no two-way conversation going on. I think that he just missed the point completely when he ordered the troops into Afghanistan. It's definitely not the answer. Thank you.
Deception and outright lies. And now in 2001, we have reached such an extent that I would not even make a guess as to how many people gathered here on the plaza today have any idea of the amount of contamination we have already produced by using nuclear weapons. And yes, we do use them. I'm going to come up to 1983 when President Reagan announced the Strategic Defense Initiative, which became known as Star Wars, which should have been laughed off the face of the earth as an unworkable scheme. But instead, every year since, we've spent at least $3 billion on research and development, until this year when George W. Bush is asking for more than $8 billion for research and development. When I say we are contaminated, we don't even have to use them to get to that stage because the whole cycle from mining to milling to manufacture to transport is polluting our habitat. These pictures are out here to remind you of some of the things we are losing. In 1991, we used depleted uranium in the Gulf War. We have consistently denied that there's any problem with that, and yet by 1995, a child of a Gulf War veteran looked like this. That was published in Life magazine, and the number of people who don't seem to know about it is staggering. Knowing that that was happening to many veterans' children, as well as the children in Iraq, we then proceeded to use it again in Bosnia in 1994 and 1995. Undeterred, we used it in Kosovo in 1999. Meanwhile, assuring every veteran that there's no problem, that it can't possibly harm you, and it's doing untold harm and will increasingly forever. This has a half-life of 4.5 billion years, which is the age of the solar system. My guess is that we will, for sure, use depleted uranium in Afghanistan, but we've accelerated now to the Pentagon pressing our president to use tactical nuclear weapons, which means battlefield weapons. The question is this: are we secure if our children breathe plutonium dust? And yes, plutonium is now found in depleted uranium, and that has been announced in newspapers and verified. Thank you.
I was watching last night on the TV station. They were starting a fight between the nations. And as I started to cry in my supplication, I was wondering why they were being so crazy. No more life, no more dying. Can we do something right? Can we take time? Yeah. Don't you know it's alright to let your love go flying. Can't you hear in mind all the truth? I was listening today to the sounds of silence. They were shouting a prayer to the halo trident. And as I started to play this song in my mind, yeah, I was wandering away. But we could show some kindness. No more war on life, no more dying. Can we do something right? Can we take time? Yeah. Don't you know it's alright? Let your love fly. And here's one a little bit happier, but it's called There's a Place. There's a place in this world, yes, it's true. Where everyone's happy, ain't nobody blue. Where there's plenty of love and plenty to feed every spirit, everybody too. And we all live together in a place where together is cool. And we all live together in a place where together is cool. And we all play a part in the orchestrated harmony. Take a dance in the garden, where a smile is always waiting, clean water for bathing, nobody debating whether it belongs to me or you. And we all live together in a place where together is cool. Every hand with a heart, every plant in the yard, every drop of sweet morning dew, every ray of sunshine, every fruit on the vine, every breath of wind ever blew. There's a place in this world, yes, it's true. Every nation could be sharing if they knew how we dance together all as one in God loving